I'm Cameron Ross. I'm the president and CEO of the Algoma Mutual Insurance Company. We've just gone through the Cybersecure Canada audit process, and we were helped by Complade, who brought us through that process. It was a productive and congenial exercise. As audits go, it was cooperative, and I would highly recommend it to any other company. There was some skepticism in the beginning from my IT provider. What is this? Why is it necessary? Why are we doing it? And very quickly, he was able to come on board and provide what we needed. He realized that it was desirable. We're not at a point where this certification is a requirement. We're at a point where it's a desirable thing to have. I know what I will be doing once the dust settles on the completion of the minor nonconformities. I'll be going forward to my insurance company and saying, hey, we have to do a cybersecurity review for you every year. How do you like these apples? Having a third-party vendor to turn to, I think, is critical. And after that, it becomes more of an academic exercise. And that early preparation is critical to the success of the review, of the certification review. Absolutely. So the time that we put into preparing for the review was golden. It was worth every penny. Anytime that you're faced with a review of materials that you've provided, you're always nervous about it. There are always going to be nuances. Every company's different. Every company's IT support is slightly different. There's always going to be some nuances, some observations. And we had a few, and we have until the end of this month to rectify those. I think there was something like half a dozen minor nonconformities and a half a dozen observations. And, the observations are nice to haves, and you work towards those. The minor nonconformities have to be completed and documented and evidence provided. But I think we're just about finished that process now, and we're only 2 weeks after certification. So you've got a year to do it. I don't recommend anybody to take any length of time, because striking while the iron's hot is the way to get your minor nonconformities done, because you've just been through the whole process. Don't put it off. Just get the minor nonconformities completed and don't wait for the year. The audit report describes the minor nonconformities and the observations, and when the report is delivered, it's explained to us the difference between minor nonconformities and observations. We are of the understanding that we have a year to complete these things, and as I've alluded to already, nobody should take that long. You should just get on with it, fix them right away. Was I surprised? No. I've had a career in the military where we've done command structure audits, and you do your best to prepare for an audit, but there are always observations. And so I'm not one of these people that expects 100% the first round. You're never going to get that. And if you do, well, maybe something's wrong. Because observations are something you should expect, and you should use them to make your system better. Yeah, that's my approach, and it's from decades of having to undergo audits here at the insurance company and in the military. So the audit process is by no means new to me, and as I say, it would have been a surprise if we didn't have any observations. Well, it's a question of what you do with them and what attitude you take going forward. I look at this as staff assistance, not an audit. You're helping me make my system stronger. There are places for decisions and human beings in this process, and that's why I say you could have one or two observations where you say, okay, well, this is not a nonconformity, it's an observation, which means it's essentially a recommendation. You can take it or not, and you use your judgment, and you're best to pay close attention, because the recommendations, the observations are being made for a reason. And you don't just say, no, I'm not going to pay attention to those. If I don't have to do it, I'm not going to do it. That's just a bad attitude. I'll say straight up that it was a very efficient process, and it was congenial. That we didn't feel as though there was any form of confrontation. So it's nice to have a friendly and productive process. And so I thank him for that. And then the fact that they jumped in their car and drove from Sudbury to here to present a certificate to us meant a lot. We are a rural company. We don't get many visits. And when someone takes the time to come and emphasize the importance and the value of what we're doing, it's much appreciated. So there you go. Well, I very much feel that you're in the business of getting us over the finish line. And that human interaction is really important. So keep it positive and keep it interactive and cooperative, because that's the key to success. I live in my business life, I live by an old military axiom that maintenance of morale is a force multiplier. If you can do things happily, you will be more productive and more efficient. Anybody can work to rule, but it's no fun. So yeah, keep up that approach and that attitude. It looks good on your company, and it's good for business.